They are gonna put you on the stand, and your testimony is gonna make or break us on this one, as always. So, downplay how much you hate Falwell. You've got to make them understand that it was just a joke.
Just a clown.
Hey, take this one seriously, Larry. Don't fuck it up for yourself, because this is gonna be the most expensive case you've ever had if you lose.
Okay!
Reverend Falwell, you're a preacher, is that right?
Yes, I am.
And as a preacher, you speak to a fairly broad audience. I mean, you preach on television and on your old-time gospel radio hour.
I do.
So you've achieved a certain notoriety. One might say a national reputation for your sermons and your opinions and ideas and your leadership of the moral majority.
Yes, our membership is now over 5 million.
Okay, but even beyond your membership, really, you've been recognized and awarded for your efforts all over America.
I have a number of honorary degrees. In a recent poll of Good Housekeeping magazine, I was voted second most admired American behind President Reagan.
Good housekeeping. That's, I mean, hey, you're famous, right?
Well, I suppose you could say that.
Mm-hmm. Reverend Falwell, have you ever had sex with your mother?
Absolutely not.
Never? I mean, you never in the outhouse, as Hustler magazine suggested?
That is an absurd question. My mother was a very godly woman, and as close to a saint as anyone I have ever known.
I'm sure she was. Reverend, have you ever preached while you were drunk?
Drunk?
Yes.
Never.
Never. I mean, you never even had a few too many at lunch and then went back on the radio once?
That is a totally outrageous suggestion.
Totally outrageous?
Totally.
You don't think that some people, Reverend Falwell, despite your reputation, might have reason to believe that you could do that?
I would find that very difficult to believe.
So really what you're telling me is that nobody could reasonably think that these statements about you were true?
Yes, that's what I've been saying.
Okay. Reverend Falwell, at the beginning of this trial, Judge Kirk gave very specific instructions to this jury, okay? She said, quote, if a reasonable person could not believe that Hustler magazine describes actual facts about Jerry Falwell, then you must dismiss the libel claim. You remember these instructions? Obviously not. So I'm going to ask you one more thing. Why are you suing my client for libel?
I am not a lawyer, Mr. Isaacman.
I am a lawyer, okay? And I can't figure it out either.
Would you state your full name for the record, please, Mr. Flint?
Yes, sir. Christopher Columbus, Cornwallis, IPQ, Harvey H., and Page EPU.
That's very interesting, but are you also known as Larry Flint?
A.K.A. Jesus H. Flint, Esquire.
Oh, for Christ's sakes.
Are you the publisher and the editor-in-chief of Hustler magazine?
I am the publisher of the most tasteless, sleaziest, most disgusting, greatest porn magazine on the face of the earth.
Thank you. I have in my hand Exhibit B, which is a typewritten script of the Campari ad. When you approved this ad, did you have any specific knowledge that the Reverend Falwell had ever engaged in sexual intercourse with his mother?
No, but I have a photograph of Falwell having fellatio with the sheep. Now, I don't think...
Your Honor, my client is in a heavily medicated, mentally agitated state. We will stipulate that no such document exists.
I have it, and Mr. Fartwell is a liar, a glutton, and a sheep of fire.
Flint, my client's name is Jerry Falwell. Jerry Falwell.
That's what I said, Jerry Fartwell.
Are you trying to hold the Reverend Falwell up to ridicule?
No, contempt.
Scorn?
Truculent.
Obloquy?
Parlez-vous français?
Oh, je parle français mieux que toi, monsieur.
Oh, embrassement derrière, mon ami. Oh, God, my French is so rusty. It's just
Bon appetit.
Bon appetit. I love her.
Quiet in the courtroom.
I love you, baby.
Jesus loves me.
Mr. Flint, do you have an aversion to organized religion?
A virgin?
No, aversion. You heard me, Mr. Flint. An aversion to organized religion.
You bet your sweet ass I do.
And do you think that gives you license to mock the leaders of great religious movements?
Well, goddamn right.
Larry, no, objection, Your Honor. This is totally irrelevant.
Overruled.
Free expression is absolute.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You agree?
Order. Ma'am, if you can't control yourself, you're going to have to leave the courtroom.
So that it was your intention to hold Reverend Falwell out to be a hypocrite, wasn't it?
Well, that's what he is.
But didn't it occur to you that Reverend Falwell must have an integrity that people can believe in if he is to practice his profession?
Yeah.
And it was your intent to destroy that integrity and his livelihood, if you could.
To assassinate it.
Hey, it's me. It's a weird decision.
Well, get me Bill, quick.
No, he's not guilty of libel, but he is guilty of inflicting emotional distress.
So now Flint has to pay him 200 grand.
This ruling shows that nobody can prostitute the First Amendment. Pornography has thrust its ugly head into our everyday lives. The billion-dollar sex industry, of which Larry Flynt is a self-described leader, lust, greed have replaced decency and morality.